Thanks for joining our Oracle Accenture webcast to connect Oracle SaaS, ERP, HCM, and CX with pre-built recipes. I'm Jürgen Kress, your host and part of the Oracle product management team. Each SaaS service requires integration with other SaaS solutions and on-premise applications. Oracle integration offers out-of-the-box adapters to connect SaaS. In today's presentation, the Accenture team will highlight how to accelerate these integrations with pre-built recipes. Success of this technology has been proven by numerous customer projects. We are excited to present the wonderful company reference case today. With us on the call is Dhiraj Chhajer. Welcome to our call. Delivering high-quality brands like Fiji, Water, POM, or Wonderful Citrus. As part of their IT landscape, Oracle Business Suite, JD Edwards, and Microsoft Dynamics plus custom modules have been connected based on Oracle integration. Under Dhiraj, IT leadership on-premise solutions are shifted to the Oracle Cloud Platform. We also would like to welcome the Accenture team.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. Amit Tahilramani, I'm Managing Director with Accenture, and I run the Oracle PaaS business for the firm in North America.
Thank you, Amit, and welcome Amit Singh.
Hi, Jürgen. I'm very excited here. I'm part of Amit's team, North America, implementing Oracle Integration Cloud for various customers. Excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And also welcome to Mani.
Hi, everyone. This is Manish Choudhary. I am Associate Director at Accenture, and I'm also in the technology architecture segment for North America. Excited to be here.
With us on the call is also Srini Puli, Vice President, Product Management, who represents the Oracle team. He leads a team for Oracle's Digital Assistant and Oracle Integration Product Management. Welcome, Srini.
Thank you, Jürgen. Glad to be here.
For today's agenda, we will start the webinar with a short introduction and announcements. The Accenture team will present 3 ways how to innovate Oracle SaaS to connect, extend, operate, and optimize, including live demos. Dhiraj explains the wonderful company real-world application integration customer cases where 6 separate e-business suite instances, JD Edwards and Dynamics, plus custom modules have been connected. We will wrap up the webcast with resources available to you and answer your questions. So let's get started. Over to you, Srini.
Thank you, Jürgen. And always, when I start a webinar like this with customers, you are the reason why we are here. You're the reason why we are successful. And a big thank you for putting the faith in our products and our services. And because of customers like you, we continue to be a leader in the iPaaS segment. And for the 4th year in a row, we are once again named as a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant for the Enterprise Integration Platform as a service report. Thank you once again for that. A humble request for all of your customers, right? If you would take a few minutes out of your time and either you or have one of your reports complete a Gartner Peers Insight, it's going to be very valuable for us to actually assess as to how exactly are we doing in terms of your expectations, and it'll help us make our products better along the way.
Thank you, Srini, very much. With this short introduction, we would like to hand over to the Accenture team.
Yeah, so Oracle PaaS has been pretty interesting, right? It comprises a multitude of products, and it's been a challenge for our clients to understand how to make the best use of the whole product stack. As Accenture, we have been implementing a lot of Oracle SaaS and PaaS implementations together. And based on our learnings over the last 3 years, we sort of came up with these 4 ways to innovate, which we take out to our clients more from a learning and education perspective. This is the ways we think the PaaS stack can help you accelerate your growth into the cloud. It can help you support your cloud SaaS environments and go beyond that in terms of innovation, building digital assistants, building autonomous RPA capabilities, and taking you to the next level of IT management and infrastructure. Essentially, what we're going to focus today are on the connect, extend, and the operate part. Connect essentially talks about how do you tie your applications within cloud using the Oracle Integration Cloud Stack. It gives you real-time visibility into your data that's moving across systems, and basically talks about the architecture that is needed to build and put your system together. A lot of our clients we see as we start their SaaS journey are the requirements of customizing the application. Though we discourage it in principle and advise our clients to follow the PaaS or the SaaS business models, it's never easy to take an on-prem application with tons of customization and to go into a complete vanilla implementation. What we do land up seeing is there are a number of extensions that show up, which actually cause sort of some fear in adoption of SaaS. We want to demystify that part of fear and talk about how Oracle can be used or extended to meet your business functionality, and how we have successfully done as various clients of ours. Operate is interesting. While we talk about connect and extend and how to implement things, it's essential for this stack to come together with continuous CI/CD, DevOps processes, so that you don't really land up reinventing the wheel for what you have already done with your EBS implementations. With my team today, I'll deep dive into all these, and hopefully my expectation is by the end of the session, you will understand better how Accenture can help you in your journey onto your PaaS and SaaS migrations. So getting into Connect, essentially what we are looking at a product tab, which is the Oracle Integration Cloud. It really helps us build very tightly coupled integrations with the Oracle Cloud. We have seen challenges where our clients already have middleware products and they have been contemplating how to actually integrate with the Oracle Cloud. Accenture has done multiple implementations using different product stacks on iPaaS. And from our experience, what we have learned is the best way to integrate with Oracle SaaS is use Oracle Integration Cloud. We put our money where our mouth is, honestly, and over the last 2 years, we, as part of our internal initiatives, took up a lot of the best practices we have implemented for our clients in terms of the integration architecture, the sort of repeated work we were doing at our clients in building the same integrations over and over again, and came up with these pre-built recipes. These are integrations which are pre-built and connected to cloud on top of Oracle Integration Cloud. They have been tested across several of our clients. They are attested to be performance ready and can take up high workloads and work up in a pretty cohesive Oracle environment. This does not mean that there is no place for your existing middleware, but what we do recommend is that the way to integrate is to do a combination of Oracle Integration Cloud and your middleware, or Oracle Integration Cloud by itself. As part of these pre-built recipes and architecture, which Amit Singh will take you through, we have 60 odd integrations ready for HCM. Amit, if you'd go to the next slide. We have another 40 integrations in the ERP cloud space, and we are coming up with another 50 in the CX space. These are key integrations. You're importing your generals, you're loading your employees, you're sending transactions to your payroll partners. Things we see being repetitive across all our clients already packaged and built out for you. These are ready day one. You can deploy it and see it in your environments live and get the feel of how the data would be integrated. These connect Oracle through different ways of integrations via APIs, through FVDIs, through HDLs. We have done the heavy lifting in the architecture front, and we sort of keep you agnostic of how to integrate with Oracle Cloud, which is slightly different than what you're used to in your EBS world. But we take that complexity away, and on your implementations, what you land up is focusing on the real part. How do I map my data between applications? You don't really focus on how I get my data, how do I process errors, how do I actually make sure that my integrations are not breaking in production. These are live tested working integrations, and they do a really good job of saving us time during the implementation phase. On an average, we see our implementation time for integration go down by up to 50% just by leveraging these integrations on day one and then focusing on the data mapping aspects of this. These comes with Accenture services. We don't really charge anything extra for them, but that sets the ground rolling for you on day one and gets you something that your SaaS is not standing by itself. It's fully integrated, or at least the first step of integration is out there for majority of your systems. I'll hand it over to Amit to talk in more detail on how these integrations were built out and the strategy that we typically adopt for our implementations. Amit, over to you.
Yep. Thanks, Amit. Thanks for the insight. Hey guys, as I said, this is Amit Singh, part of North America team, and my main goal as part of Accenture is to make sure that our cloud integration implementations are successful and done in a right manner. And with that, right, I have been part of multiple integration implementation projects way back from the middleware and now through cloud as well over the last few years, as Amit mentioned. Uh, During the last few years, we have learned that as part of the cloud integrations, right, there has to be a strategy that needs to be finalized way before as we get into the design phase or global design phases, right? I'll take you there, that what we have learned and some of the key points that we make sure that our integration strategy should cover. During the global design or early phases, right, what we have seen few clients, and I'll take an example, right, rather than going through this slide, I'll take an example where I was part of the phase 2 implementation, and we were evaluating that what's the scope. Well, client came up with the list of technical debts and architectural debts, and I was looking at them, and I was like, okay, must be something was not very right in the beginning, right? So when we look at it, the technical debts, one of the examples that I want to share here is they had built 100 plus integrations, and their error notification and services were all sending emails, and their operation team is stuck with the emails, and they are trying to find where is my error, where is my success notification. Now they are trying to do a ServiceNow integration for all the errors. When we looked deeper into the code, we found that the way these services were built, each integration was built separately. Now you have to go back and modify all those 100 integrations. So that's just one example, right? Those are the key things as part of the integration strategy that we need to focus on. And what we did as an Accenture, we have a quite extensive document as an integration strategy as a template. We bring that day one. What it entails the key design decision that you need to make during the global design phase, right? Make sure that how are you going to handle your errors? What is your landscape? What is your integration or design pattern would look like? We already defined those design patterns, and what we need to do as part of day one is just pick and choose which design pattern to use, which design pattern will map to this, right? And we help with that. So it gives you a great jump start and make sure that we are using the right tools for the right purpose. So it gives design decision trees that help you to navigate through those designs. It's not just the questions that have, how are you going to do it? We do have the templates of the decision trees that is going to help you to facilitate those design discussions. Now, moving on to, so what we have done is I'll take a couple of design patterns. I'll not go into the details. This is a very high level design pattern that we are showing, one as an inbound integration, one as an outbound integration here. I'll take you through a demo, a tool that we have developed as integration team or as part of my Concerta initiative, which is a delivery and sales initiative from Accenture. What we do is this is one-stop shop, one-stop place, right? All the assets that we have captured as part of the various implementation was done. Most of them were done from ground up. As Amit was mentioning, last 3 years, we have invested heavily where we actually went in there and built these integrations from ground up. The integration list, a glimpse of it, what Amit showed in the beginning. These integrations were built considering the fact how flexible they are. They can be extendable very easily. So this place where we go here and I can go and search. If I'm going for an HCM integration, HCM implementation, I can go and search for an integration and say, for example, I'll pick this HCM payroll integration, what exactly it is, right? So I can see quickly that it is an integration which is bringing the payroll deduction selection from a third party, right? Maybe Elite or whatever your benefit provider is. They can give this selection and I have to load it into HCM. Very typical use case, all the time we see it. What you have here is, it talks about whether it's an inbound integration, what platform it is using, whether it has the detailed design document as well along with it, right? So that you don't have to really go and look at the code. It has the code plus the design document, everything at one place. So it gives us the flexibility at one place that what I want to go and update. And there's personalization feature where every user can go and do the rating and all. So it's available for all the Accenture people, so that now we bring the homogeneity, right? So not every developer. So we have the integration strategy, we have these design patterns, we have these pre-built integrations that anybody can go ahead and download it from one place. Another thing that I would like to show is not just the integrations, right? You can filter on the extensions. If I want to see an extension, maybe in a module like supply chain. And this is one of the extensions which Mani would also take us through the sales workbench, right? So, and I can talk in details. But what I'm trying to say is that at one place, it's not just the integration, extensions, fast formulas, extracts, everything at one place. We can go and download them and make sure that they have the proper documentation, and we can extend those solutions. As I said, that they have built from ground up, considering the performance, considering the error handling, considering the extendability of the solution. With that, I'll move on to the next item, which is the operate piece of it, right? You want the automation of integrations. You want that deployment should be pretty automated, right, at one place. And that's the gap that as an Accenture, we realized we are getting into SaaS, we are getting into IaaS and PaaS aspects of it. And we want to automate all our code deployments, right, at one place. So we built an interesting tool, and it has been utilized at multiple clients right now. This tool comes up with automating the deployment to your SaaS application, to your DBaaS, to your VBCS application, to your integration cloud, right? One place. And the best part of it is that you can extend it to your client's need, right? It comes with the whole design document and the architecture that it can be easily extendable. Some clients say that, oh, I do not have Jenkins, I do not have this. So there are different flavors that we have developed, and each flavor can be deployed at various clients. I'll take you through the demo of this tool quickly. What we have here is, this is the cloud deployment framework, right? And it has mainly three sections, right? As you get to a client, you want to do a setup for that client, right? You want to define the components and what are the domains, whether it's PaaS, whether it's OAC. So you define those during the time of the setup, right? So you'll do the maintenance, metadata setup. And then there is an authorization, right? How you want to make sure that not just the deployment piece, you want to have the end-to-end visibility, that a developer is raising a deployment request, a reviewer is approving it, and then somebody is raising the deployment request. So all that should be tracked, right? I do not want to get into a position where, which version of the code is running in SIT? Do you know what version went into UAT? So, and that is a problem that we have seen multiple places where we do not have proper DevOps framework that is there. And this is the solution to those problems, right? You have one place to go and see that where exactly my code is. So you can define the approval hierarchy, whether you want change release approver, IT approver, different kinds of hierarchy that you can define, different roles are there. And then once all the things are set up, right, what you need to do is you need to register your integrations, you need to register your components. So you can register clients, interfaces, various environments, right? So once you do that initial setups, you can just build a manifest that I want to deploy a particular integration. And I'll show you the integration environment where we have integrated this with. So this is the OIC integration platform. Most of you are already familiar with, but here I'm going to show you that here's the integration. These are some integrations that were deployed. And I have already created a manifest. So manifest creation is nothing but identifying the integration and what exactly you want to deploy, which environment you want to deploy. So that's the manifest, right? Providing the data, what exactly you want to deploy. And this is the manifest that I'm gonna submit. So it has been submitted. So I'll go to my approval workflow. I see that there's a manifest which is pending for approval. I will go ahead and approve it, select approved, and then it's done. I will go to my manifests, which were there. So I'll go ahead and create a deployment request. And we'll just go ahead and deployment, and I'll submit the deployment. It will immediately go and deploy the code into the integration cloud. Right. So the other thing that you can do is once the deployment is sent, you can look at all the failed deployments that are there. You can always go ahead and say that, okay, whether there was any failure, you could go ahead and deploy the failed request again. So it shows here that it has been initiated. While it is getting deployed, there are other features of it, right? You can see that how many deployments were done previously, whether they are successful, failure, that kind of stuff. So it has pretty much everything there, and you can activate the connection. That's another thing that you might have seen a request coming in while you're doing the integration development, that there are times where we see that what happened to the integration, right? Whether it has been, the connections are there, the connections cannot be reactivated because you change the connection. All that can be done from one place. So we'll go here and check the integration that we submitted. You see here that this is an integration that we just deployed. It is an extract coming on May 5th that got deployed. There should be another service coming up. This is a shared extract that brings the data from HCM and sends to a database, right? This is one of the common service that we built, and it's being used across multiple projects. And you see here it is configured, and now it's invoking the API for activation. Not only that, you can see the status as well from here, whether the integration is deployed, success. You can get into the logs of it as well from the same place. With that, I'd like to touch upon the background architecture of it a little bit, that what has been done and how it exactly the whole thing was developed, right? So if you see what is the underlying architecture of it, right, and how easily it is extendable, that's another thing, right? You have your Git where your source code is there, right? So we still make sure that all the code is present in GitHub. And this is our OCDF application UI, right? That's what the cloud deployment framework, where I was walking through. And this is the underhood part of it, right? That's the Jenkins workflow. And then it makes sure that the code is getting deployed into the Oracle Integration Cloud and DBaaS or VBCS. With that, I'll hand it over to Mani.
So what I would like to focus on is the extension. There are a number of extensions that we have built for our customers. We have over 150 extensions, PaaS extensions that we have built, over 50 SaaS extensions that we have built for our customers. The PaaS extensions are built using Visual Builder Cloud Service. Jet is the core architecture behind it, and Process Cloud Service. These are all available on the Oracle Integration Cloud platform. And as Amit mentioned earlier, that these extensions are typically the use cases that you have customizations on on-premise, and these are some of the very industry-specific use case that you have, and you need those migrated on the cloud as well. So OIC platform, which basically provides Visual Builder Cloud Service, provides a great platform to build all these extensions on the cloud as well. Then there are SaaS extensions, which are typically, if we go back to on-prem world, you have these forms personalizations or some small personalizations that you have to do on the standard screens. Those are your SaaS extensions, and they are typically done using Application Composer or Groovy scripting with, again, some of the APIs, integration APIs deployed on the Oracle Integration Cloud platform. So what I would do is I'll walk you through some of the extension use cases, and that would make things clear on how extensions are built on the OIC platform. So one of the critical extension that we have seen, most common use case that we have seen across our customers, is the sales workbench. As Amit has already mentioned, that the sales workbench is available on our developer portal. It's something that we have reused for most of our customers. This workbench provides sort of like a 360-degree visibility to your customers. The customer details, how to manage your customers, what their order activity is, all that is provided in a single dashboard. Along with that, it provides a quick way to manage your customer contact details or contact points, and also enables order entry just in a few clicks. So this provides a quick way for your sales team to who are mostly on the run, right, or on the go. They can look at the availability of items in the system, and based on that, they can book orders quickly, make quicker decisions. So this becomes a very important tool for your salespeople and your customer service department. This tool is available or compatible with most of the mobile devices, so it's available on iPad, and this is what is typically used by the salespeople to sort of look at the customer details and create contact points for a new prospect that they have met, and book orders also on the run. I'll actually show you a demo of Sales Workbench a little later, so that gives you a background of how this entire extension has been developed. Some of our other industry-specific use cases that we have built, one is commission revenue and payment application workbench that we have built for cashback industry. This use case was the customer wanted to get their revenue details from a lot of different sources into one consolidated place. So they wanted a workbench where they can import all of these transactions, these different revenue sources, and then be able to exclude and include certain transactions which are relevant for revenue perspective, and then summarize these transactions, and then provide a view to their finance approvers, who could review and approve these summarized transactions. Once they are approved, they would get interface to ERP AR, right? Another thing that they wanted was to even apply the payment transactions that are coming from these affiliate networks or different sources. And these payment transactions would then get applied onto the invoices that were already imported earlier. So this provided like a one-stop shop for getting all their revenue sources integrated into Cloud ERP, as well as do a cash application as well, so that your entire invoices along with the payments are all reconciled together, right? So this is very relevant for the cashback industry like eBay, Rakuten, Groupon, those kind of customers. Admin portal is another extension that we built that provided a foundation for monitoring all these pre-built integrations that Amit talked about. So we have this portal where it provides a single view of all your integration details, tracks the complete life cycle of the integration, provides an ability to reprocess the integrations, and also provides role-based data access, right? Another thing it provides is like it's a backbone for all our extensions as well. So it provides message dictionary, it provides security framework, so you can use those to actually build your extensions. So that's another extension that we have been using across our implementations. Another example that I have here is for something that uses Process Cloud Service. So if you have any extension use cases around workflow to extend the Oracle standard out of the box workflow that is provided, if you have to extend that, we typically use Process Cloud Service for that. And in this particular case, the projects workflow is a very common workflow in the oil and gas industry. So they had a requirement to extend that workflow by, adding some essential attributes that are not available in the standard workflow. And based on that attributes, they had like certain tasks that need to be executed. So that component or additional task is created in the process cloud service as a additional workflow. So once those workflow steps are completed, it actually goes back to the standard workflow and it starts continuing over there. This is a very good use case that helps look at how your Oracle standard workflows can be extended, and you can build more functionality that is very specific to your industry. Another industry-specific use case is HickPick's Workbench. This was built for one of our healthcare customer. One of the key problems that the healthcare customers face is they have a lot of supplier invoices. Maybe invoices coming from hospitals and their vendors, the pharmaceutical, companies, right? And what they wanted was sort of like a workbench or a rules-based application that would help evaluate all these vendor invoices according to rules set up by CMS. CMS is a Center of Medicare and Medicare Services. So they publish, rules every year, and these rules are automatically imported in our workbench. And what we have built is like a rules-based engine that will go and evaluate all these vendor invoices and basically come up with a reevaluated invoice amount. So if somebody is charging higher for an emergency service, that's not accurate. So it basically reevaluates that, comes up with a corrected invoice amount, and creates credit memo automatically and integrates with the ERP system. With this particular application, this healthcare customer was able to save about $5 million every year. So a very critical application that helped them, succeed in their business. Another use case that I see in the manufacturing industry is the production scheduling workbench. This particular application extension provided an ability for planners to optimize the workloads for their production process. It's like a very key operational process in the manufacturing industry that they have to look at all their supply, the demand, and then create work orders. These work orders help with the manufacturing. So it publishes the schedules, the run list. It can be downloaded, printed, distributed to shop floor operators to execute their work orders. So the entire end-to-end manufacturing process is accomplished using this workbench. Typically, it could be used for any other manufacturing industry as well. One of the key use cases that we built for our staffing industry is invoicing extension. In the staffing industry, what we saw was there is no good tool out there that sort of handles all the complexities of, getting the data from multiple different, vendors or contractors and basically get them all together, right? So typically what we saw for this customer was they were handling all of these via spreadsheets. And we came up with this, again, rules workbench to provide or give them an ability to precede all these computations. So when the data comes in, everything gets calculated, computed automatically, and then it produces, invoices with the details, which are like contractor level detail, their time entry and all of that, and then creates invoices that could be sent to their customers. So very key extension that again basically provides end-to-end integration and was very helpful for this particular customer. With this, let me go to the demo of Sales Workbench. So in this Sales Workbench, what we have here is, this is again developed on Visual Builder Cloud Service using the your Oracle Integration Cloud platform. So in this workbench, what we have here is we have three major components, right? One is the customer dashboard, which you see out here. Then I have review orders, and then place order. Place order is where you quickly book an order using just few clicks. So for our demo purpose, I have a test customer out here, Lowe's Companies, and in this particular customer dashboard, you can look at all different views, right? You currently, I just see active customers. We can change it to active bill tools, customers invoice this year. If you just want to look at customers with open orders, you can select that and automatically the filters get applied, right? It'll show only those customers with open orders. So a lot of predefined views out here that you can select. And then if you want additional columns that you want to dynamically change the layout, and you want to see only, let's say, last call or visit info, which is very relevant for salespeople. So they may select this, and it'll dynamically change and show those columns out here. So for now, let's use Lowe's Companies as the test customer. When I click on this, I can see all these customer details, the customer location, what is the statistics. I have a contact piece out here where you can add contacts pretty quickly, manage all the contact details, responsibilities, and things like that. So now let me go to the place order screen, where we will be quickly creating an order. So if you look at that, when I clicked on place order, automatically most of the customer details are already populated, right? All I have to do is basically select a warehouse. And when I select a warehouse, what it does is it basically is looking live into ERP system, figuring out what is the availability, right? So based on the availability, I can now, let's say I know an order line item 0018805 that is available in the system. So I'm going to use that. So if you see, there is a available quantity of 15 already there. So I'm just going to say I want to book an order with 5 quantity for this line item, right? Another important thing to note here is that you have this price adjustment. So salespeople are given, an ability to apply discounts on the fly based on, any customer event that they are looking for, or any customer that they know has been using or ordering same products, right? So they can apply these discounts, on the fly as well. So that feature is also available here. So with the order line item entered, I'm going to say save to create the order. So at this point of time, it is basically running through all validations, making sure this order is complete in nature, right? So it ran through all the validations, and it figured out that, okay, I missed entering the customer PO number, right? So I'm going to enter the customer PO, which is another critical information to get the order created. So once that is entered, I'm going to click on save, and this time it should create my order, right? So once the order is created, I can print it out. So you have this order SW4639 created. I can preview this order and print it out, send to my customer contact as a acknowledgement. There are certain other integration available, like you can send a fax, email, all that is available out here. And when I submit this order for order orchestration, basically it goes all the way to, let's say if you have transportation management system integrated, it sends that order through that workflow into the transportation management system. So all that stuff is, available. So quickly, let me look at review order screen here. So it tells me or shows me all the orders that are created. So if you see here, 4639 is available that I just created. And this also provides a way to view order acknowledgement, send email, send the fax, look at order lines, right? Everything is integrated out here. And then you have a load plan status, which is like an transportation management status, right? So this workbench is integrated with the transportation management system and brings this status out from here as well. Why is this important? So let's say if the order is sent out to your transportation management system, it would not allow you to edit the order, right? Because it's already sent to the transportation management system. So these this sales workbench, the key thing that you have to understand is that this is, again, we can personalize it for your use case. We can build external, additional validations and things like that. That's where, the effort is. But this is a architecture that we have been using across our multiple customers. With this, let me hand it over to Dhiraj to talk about the wonderful cloud, success journey. Dhiraj, over to you.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Mani. Everyone, I'll give you a quick overview about the enterprise and how we are using Fusion and OIC for our digital transformation. So Wonderful Company is one of the leading consumer product brands in the world, and they help consumers make better choices when it comes to their food and beverages. As you can see, we are the world's largest grower of tree nuts, America's largest citrus grower, and world's largest flower delivery service with Teleflora Network Florist. The enterprise employs over 10,000 people across the globe, and these are some of the brands that are under the Wonderful umbrella. So these are some of the brands that you would see, and I'm sure they would resonate with many of the folks over here. You will see them in the distribution, like grocery channels across all geographies as well. Notable ones being the Wonderful pistachios, almonds, Wonderful citrus, Palm Wonderful, Fiji water, Justin wine, and Teleflora with the flower delivery across the globe altogether. So in terms of our current roadmap, right? So prior to Oracle Fusion, each brand had separate ERP systems, predominantly Oracle eBusiness Suite, due to subtle differences in their business process. We started our cloud journey in late 2017. With cloud, it was a fantastic opportunity to simplify and streamline our business process and leverage cloud across infrastructure, SaaS, code base, and gain synergies and efficiencies in both IT and businesses, ultimately delivering value to our end customers and our stakeholders. So we started with Wonderful Citrus, one of the bigger brands within the Wonderful umbrella, and we took them to cloud. The brand had all functions. It is a vertically integrated brand with all functions, including farming, harvesting, processing, and shipping products to customers. We used Oracle ICS, precursor to current state Oracle Integration Cloud, for all our integrations. As you can see, we recently migrated to OIC, Oracle Integration Cloud. The project was a huge success, and it improves our resiliency and provides better reliability and throughput for our time-sensitive integrations. In terms of future state, the objective is to bring all the various Oracle eBusiness suites and migrate them to Oracle Fusion as a single global instance altogether. This is work in process. In terms of how the project was carved out for Wonderful Citrus, we used the 6 different workflows and did a process map across them for anybody of interest. And this basically tells you the scope and how Oracle is being used across the various brands as well. Here is the high-level architecture for our current Fusion footprint. Right here in the middle, you have Oracle ERP Cloud. We use financials, procurement, manufacturing, supply chain management, project manufacturing, Oracle Transportation Management in cloud as well, Oracle Logfire for warehouse management. I'll touch upon the integration cloud and how integrations are being used in one of the slides in the following slide. And as you can see, we are pretty much using most of the adapters that are out there as well. In terms of various integrations, you have external systems, you have plant automation systems like Compact that is also being used. These are all connected to the various systems that we have through Oracle Integration Cloud. It is an important part in our architecture. And with for custom applications, as you can imagine, with farming and other niche operations, we had to build custom applications to support those business processes. Those are built on Oracle Database Cloud as a database, and then deployed using Java Cloud Services and ADF. For reporting, Oracle transactional reporting is being used as well. There was a question around message pack and scalability from many participants. Happy to share that with OIC, you have all features for your integration needs, and that includes high volume and scaling as your needs grow. On the left-hand side, you can see this is the dashboard that shows you how many messages have actually been received. And yeah, I mean, it is working out really well for our businesses, and we do have times. I mean, especially when it comes to manufacturing integrations and the demonstration that Mani gave you around, like let's say we call it sales jacket. That shows you that yes, these are all time critical, and Integration Cloud works for our needs appropriately. So this is one of the integration where we have the manufacturing execution system on the left-hand side called Compact. And here it integrates with Oracle ERP Cloud. It shows you how we have connected with WMS, the Logfire system for inventory tracking. As pallets are getting created at the shop floor, we have messages going back and forth between the warehouse management system and ultimately going into the Oracle ERP Cloud with respect to how inventory has been created. And as with any system, when there are business exceptions, email errors, or individual exceptions where you can reprocess, all of those features, which you would expect with any modern integration platform, all of them are available.
Thanks a lot, Dhiraj. That was really insightful. Coming back, right, I know Accenture came up with what we normally see at our clients, our best practices, and how we package them to accelerate PaaS implementations for most of our clients today, right? All this and more is present in the white paper. We'll be sharing this deck that's on the left. This is our official take on 4 ways to innovate with Oracle PaaS. We'll highly encourage this group to take a look at this. And if you have any questions on different ways you can implement these technologies in your organization, please feel free to reach out to us. We are offering deep dive sessions and workshops on integrations, PaaS architecture. If you want to schedule next demos, we are happy to do that. Feel free to reach out to myself, Mani, or Amit Singh, and we'll be happy to coordinate back and set them going or get this going for you. Again, right, the intent here was to showcase how good Oracle PaaS is in handling the problems that you have. We have implemented it for a lot of our clients successfully, and you're hearing right from Dhiraj, right, how easy it has been for their organization to move into the cloud using the PaaS stack, which is often an afterthought for some clients. A lot of focus starts with the SaaS implementation. But we realize that majority of the complications on the tech side comes on how you adopt the PaaS stack and how you integrate your on-prem applications with the cloud. Jürgen, back to you.
So to summarize today's presentation, thanks, Dhiraj, for the excellent use case. Now I know the next time I order flowers for my girlfriend, I will use Oracle Integration Cloud.
Absolutely.
So to summarize also the Accenture part, innovation is driven with Oracle SaaS, and it begins with connection. So make sure you integrate, extend, operate, and optimize. Some quick resources for more information. Today's webinar is recorded, and you can watch an on-demand version and all our previous webinars at the Oracle Video Hub integration channel. For further questions and collaboration, please visit Cloud Customer Connect. You can start their conversations. You can also submit ideas for innovations, and you can earn badges. In case you want to try Oracle Integration Cloud, we offer a free trial for 30 days via the Oracle website. And please make use of the documentation where we also publish some tutorials. For further information, please subscribe to our integration newsletter by the product management team. We publish a quarterly update with all success stories, white papers, and trainings. Visit our website. The on-demand recording is available at Video Hub, and please make use of the free trial. For further information, please contact the Accenture team and download the white paper. With this, we would like to come to the questions and answers. The first question for the Accenture team: how much saving do you see clients after implementing Sales Workbench?
Yeah, so Jürgen, I'll take that question. That's a great question. What we have noticed is that typically for our customers, when they have implemented Sales Jacket or Sales Workbench, we see they have reported that on their customer service representative staff, there is a 30% reduction. And from revenue opportunity perspective, there is definitely a 25% increase in the revenue opportunity because salespeople are able to access this tool pretty quickly.
Wonderful, thanks. The next question comes from Mohan regarding the pre-built recipes. Can they be extended, and are those available to Accenture clients?
I'll take that, Jürgen. Yes, these recipes are designed to be extended because they provide the basic framework to start with. So it'll have all the necessary fields you need to create data entities into Oracle Cloud or into external systems. But as we have seen across our clients, each client has a different business need or different custom fields. So these XMLs are designed to be extended, and we can do that pretty easily once we get the requirements. And the second part, right? These recipes come with Accenture services. We don't sell them separately. These are part, once we are on the project, all relevant pieces and accelerators will be brought forward by Accenture.
Excellent. And are these extensions and recipes available on the Oracle Cloud Marketplace?
No, they are not available on the Oracle Cloud Marketplace, and we intend to keep it this way since we are not selling them as a product offering. This will be part of our consulting services.
Next question comes from Shelvan. Is there robust monitoring provided for the pre-built integration?
Yes, we have a pretty dynamic error handling and management framework, which is a common service offering, which is packaged along with all our pre-built integrations. That lets you monitor the integrations in real time. You get error notifications. And in some cases, depending on the integration, there are options of reprocessing it either automatically, depending on technical errors or business errors, or in some cases, once the business errors are fixed, you will have a dashboard where you can go and resubmit them. The architectures are very extensible, and you can define multiple points of resubmission depending on the nature of the error.
And next question comes from Javier. If you have an integration framework for a business suite, release 12, and I also would like to include the question from Sam, if the connectivity agent is still required for on-premises integrations.
Yeah, to the first part, right? These integrations which we showed today are pretty much for Oracle Cloud, and that's what we have been focusing on for the last few years. This said, we have a lot of offerings in the EBS space, predominantly based on Oracle SOA, and we can definitely look at, we call it the Accenture Foundation Platform for Oracle. I can send out details if you can give me a ping on what you're looking at in the EBS space. But yeah, as Accenture, we have been doing EBS for forever at this point of time, and we have loads of assets to tie into EBS.
Next question is for Dhiraj. How was the migration done from Oracle Integration Cloud Services to Oracle Integration? Was it smooth and was it very fast?
Yeah, in terms of the later part, yes, it had to be fast because our business is run 24/7. So we definitely had to make sure that in terms of the overall migration, we do it in a relatively short window altogether. Appropriate planning, having a checklist, obviously, and making sure that we follow the testing and involving business users and testing out critical business functions would be key to getting the migration successful. I think the team over the years had experience, and especially as Amit and Mani mentioned, right, getting your integration done right from the go, then the migration becomes much more smoother. I'm very happy to say that the migration was quite uneventful, which is what you wanted. And from the business user perspective, they didn't even notice that we basically made a pivotal shift altogether. And Oracle team, as usual, was very helpful and supportive as well.
That's wonderful feedback. Thank you very much. And we take the last question from Nelima. What kind of integrations have been built in the HCM track?
As we showed that pretty much all the modules were included, right? We have built it in core HR with the recruiting, payroll, all the modules. We have pretty robust integration, which we found that they are pretty much the use case for every client.
Nothing outside of this, just want to highlight it. There are other integration for HR data, which may not be with Oracle HCM, just in general, getting your data from Workday or other applications where you're managing your employees today. So those are also available, and they're most widely used by our clients. That's one of the hardest integration to implement, is getting HR data into ERP cloud from a non-Oracle system. So those are something that we see great adoption at our clients.
So thank you very much for the joint team. Dhiraj, thank you for the wonderful customer presentation. You are an outstanding customer example. Thank you to the Accenture team for the excellent best practice using Oracle integration to connect SaaS. And thank you also to the Oracle team and Srini for the wonderful introduction and support. Thank you everybody for attending. Hope you will join one of our future webcasts.
Thanks for watching.